Well, good win for our guys. Thought we played well tonight in a lot of areas. Defensively in the first half, I thought we were pretty good. Maybe the first 8 minutes not quite as good as we would have liked, but the last 12, we did a lot of really good things and really played pretty well offensively. Maybe had a little slow drought there in the second half for a little bit, but it's always harder sometimes playing with a lead like that, and I think the other team can be very aggressive and attack you, and there's not nearly the pressure to shoot. And so Wake really played well in the second half. They were hard to guard. I'm really proud of Legend for giving us some good minutes off the bench. I thought he really gave us a spark. And again, I'm just really happy for my team. My team has been competing really hard the last couple of weeks, especially last week. We didn't get any wins, but so it's good, nice for my team to enjoy a win tonight. And I thought we had a lot of guys play well, so it was a good team victory. Questions?
Coach, did you worry at all coming into this week that because of the close losses? I mean, there's a tipping point.
Yeah, not really. I mean, our guys there's been no signs in practice that our guys aren't still competing and working hard and trying to hang in there. But I think it speaks, to the character of our guys. I think it is hard. I mean, I think it's harder than people realize. You pour so much into every game, for 48 hours or 72 hours, you're getting prepped on a team, and then obviously play your guts out and lose on the last second shot or miss a shot to win a game. There's an emotional toll, I think, that it plays over the course of a long season, and there's no question it can drain you physically as well, but emotionally it's hard to keep your battery up, recharged. It helps us a little bit having a little bit of depth, and so we. Maybe if one guy like Gabe isn't as good tonight or has a little bit of a tough night, tough luck with some fouls, then Marquise plays well and Legend plays well, and that gives your team energy. So I think that really has helped us.
Coach, when Eli fouled out with 7:40 to go, and then City picked up his fourth shortly after that, how confident or concerned were you that you'd be able to hang on?
Well, a little bit. Just, obviously Legend doesn't have a lot of experience, and he's not a good free throw shooter, so it's hard to have him in the last 4 minutes of games when you have the ball and the other team is going to foul you. So that part of it is hard. Defensively, he does okay and did fine tonight. And I thought offensively he made a couple nice catches and finished some plays that was really good for us. But certainly you'd rather have a more experienced player. And, John Collins is he's just a whale of a player. I mean, he's really, really good. 29 and 10, relatively easy, and so that's going to happen. I thought we did a good job of trying to make him work. He had 4 fouls, and we got him in a little bit of foul trouble. So, but again, it was good to have 3 guys. It seems like there's 1 or 2 ACC games a year where you feel like you need three centers.
Was that more about Collins, especially in the first half, putting Legend in, or was it the length of time that you were going to have to play with those guys?
Yeah, well, with both those guys with 2 and just experience doing this a little bit, that a little bit the way the game's being called, a little bit their post player is as good as he is, that there's going to be situations where your guys are going to be in contact situations, and it's going to lead to more fouls. And so in the first half, when both those guys had 2, I was hoping to get 4 minutes. From like the 8-minute mark to the 4-minute mark with Legend, and then put City or Eli back in for the last 4 minutes and hopefully eke out 4 minutes to get to halftime with 2 with both of them. But Legend did a good job, and so we put him in there for about 5 or 6 straight minutes, and he did fine. And then he started being gassed. He was gassed, and then it's like, hey, we got to get him out of here. He's running on empty. So
You're up.
Talk about Reed's performance tonight, and again in this game against them, coming through and making some big baskets.
Yeah, he did. He played well. I thought there's some good open court situations for him. He's just becoming more confident and more comfortable out there. And I thought he's a guy who I think has been coming on. The longer the season's going, I think he is more comfortable with how we do things. He's also becoming much better defensively. He's unfortunately he's a guy who didn't play any man-to-man at Robert Morris, and he didn't have great habits when he got here. So to work with all that it's been work, and he's really improved. He's one of those guys that gets a lot of steals, but he's also always not in the right spot. And but he's really improved that, and he's becoming a pretty good defensive player. And it's just, as much as anything, I just feel like there's a confidence with him that's coming that has been good to see.
Going back to you talking about the team's effort in practice,
Mhm.
does some of that come from the way they got off to a good start this year? They proved to themselves that they could play at a high level, and you kind of credit that when you look at some of these close losses and the way they've gone.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy not to forget. I think everybody, a lot of our critics have forgotten that, we did win some games where the other team missed a shot at the end, Nebraska and South Carolina. I can't remember the Georgia score, but it was close a little bit for a while. Like, we did win a couple games, like, some of it's basketball, and it's not that we didn't make plays to lose the game against Syracuse or whatnot, we did. But there are other times when guys make shots, and we've had a little bit, like, somebody told me the stat, it was one of my assistants, like, coach, teams are shooting 82% against us from the free throw line. Like, and I said to one of them, like, what are we supposed to do about that? And they're like, I don't know how to guard the free throw line better. Obviously, we don't foul that much, so we don't send that many guys to the line. But when they do go, Wake Forest tonight, 12 for 14. I mean, it's like they make them, and it's like, I mean, you watch other games and they're, teams lose games, and we probably lost a game where we don't make free throws. Tonight, we obviously made our free throws. It's like there just seems like it's tough sometimes, but that's sports, and you just keep going to your guys. We've tried to do some different things. We've done some more morning practices, to be honest with you. Like, we've just tried to break routine. We've tried to, we practiced twice yesterday. We went once from 7 to 8, and then we went from 3:30 to 4:45. And it was like from 7 to 8 we did our defense and some shooting, and then we came back and did like a bunch of offensive things, and then like walk through their stuff a little bit defensively. And it's almost like, doing different things, wake them up in the morning, get them over here where their focus is completely on basketball, and their girlfriend hasn't been, upset with them, and they're in trouble with a class or whatever, or they, a tutor or whatever. They just, their minds are a little, freer and focused. And so we've done some of that in the last 3 weeks to just try to make sure our guys are focused and we're thinking about the right things and break things into smaller time periods when we bring them over here. And I think that's really helped keep our team fresh and keep our team mentally alive during a very, very difficult, part of the season.
I thought Shelton's ability to penetrate and score or dish off the penetration really opened up the offense in some of those lanes.
It did, and and Wake did some things pressure-wise where they were into us, and they created some of those, and you have to make plays then. And I think Shelton actually kind of tweaked his knee again in the game, and I'm a little concerned about it because I just felt like he's really fought some things this year. I felt he was kind of coming out of it, and his confidence is better. If you watch him walk, he walks with a limp, and it's, I think, I just think there's some things with that guy that he's dealing with that makes it really hard for us, for him. And so I'm really proud of him because he's played really well the last couple of weeks. And I hate to see today he needed to come out, and trainer and the doctors looked at him at halftime and said, well, he's fine, but like it's bothering him some. He's not going to do any damage, but. So I don't think he had maybe quite the same pop in the second half. So we'll have to just keep an eye on it.
Avery was 3 for 4 from 3 tonight. I don't know where he is in ACC play in terms of percentage. He's
well.
got to be up near number one. Phil's
Well,
telling us.
I'm really happy for him because, again, I've told you guys this, and I don't even know what the number is, but he makes it every day. If we practice in the morning, he's going to stay and make his 200. If he stays if we practice in the afternoon, he's going to make take his 200, make his 200, whatever it is. Like, he's putting in extra time. And you always want to see kids rewarded for the effort they're putting in. And so he does it every day religiously. And I know he does it when we're not around. He comes in at night and does it. And obviously it's really paid off for him because he's shooting the ball with a lot of confidence from 3.
Marquise mentioned the NCAA tournament. Has that been
We
a
haven't really
message?
talked about all that stuff that much. And the funny thing is, throughout this whole month, I haven't even, when I'm in the locker room or walking around our guys, I haven't really heard our guys talk about it. I think our guys are just trying to deal with the next game. And some of that's when you've had what we've had to deal with a little bit, you just got to focus on that. And I think they've done a good job of that. And, we just need to kind of keep keep getting better. I think our team has gotten better. It hasn't always shown in wins, but I think we've done some things that have proven that we're, a pretty good team, and it's just nice to see a win go our way tonight.
When you see a guy like Lenardi keeping you in the bracket, even when you only had 3
Yeah.
wins before tonight, now 4, I mean, what does that say to you about what he sees?
Well, I think it says a lot of things. I think number one, like, obviously our non-conference schedule was really difficult, and we did well. It's kind of the opposite of last year where we didn't do well in the non-conference and everybody was upset and we were upset. Then we rallied and did pretty well in the league. Unfortunately, a little too late. This year we started strong and we've stumbled a little bit. And we just got to hang in there and fight to the finish. But I'm sure in some way that's good for our guys to still hear that. Obviously, I've talked to Tim Beret and I've talked to West Durham and all these guys that follow this league for 30 years, and they're talking about it's the best they've seen it in 30 years. And I think that's, I think it is true. I know it's in the 7 that I've been, it's not even close. I just think, like, there's 12 teams that are, maybe 13 teams that easily could go into the NCAA tournament and win multiple games. I just think that it's that good. And there's really good players on every team. And you have to play really well to win.
After Duke really limited Jurana second half, did you feel like you responded well, double?
I did. What I'm really proud of is the 10 defensive rebounds. That, if he can continue to rebound defensively like that, that helps our defense immensely. And, it's good for him to make the 2 threes again. He made a big shot late when we needed on a nice jump hook in the lane. He had 3 assists, couple were kick-out threes and driving threes that, just show composure and show poise and experience. Okay? Thanks, everybody.